Hi there. Welcome to this week's live training for all my favorite ADHD people. So, today we're going to focus on making ADHD your superpower. Now, I've had so many conversations that sound like this. People saying to me for years, I thought my ADHD was holding me back. I couldn't stick to one thing. I struggled with focus. I always felt like I wasn't living up to my potential. But the moment I started to see ADHD as a strength instead of a flaw, everything changed. Well, today, I want to help you do that. So by the end of today, you'll know the 5 ADHD superpowers that can help you thrive as a leader, as an entrepreneur, how to harness them, how to use practical strategies to turn your unique brain into your biggest advantage. Now, there are a few things that executives and entrepreneurs and startup founders with ADHD all face, or many of you face anyway. Difficulty staying consistent, overwhelmed from too many ideas, feeling like you don't fit into traditional success models, right? That sound familiar? Yeah. So I want us to reframe this. So we're going to change things up a little bit. ADHD brains are actually uniquely wired for leadership and innovation. Nonlinear thinking leads to creative problem solving. Energy and passion inspires teams and drives momentum. Risk taking encourages bold decisions others wouldn't make. Think about it. Creative problem solving, inspiring teams and driving momentum. Bold decisions that others won't make. You know what? ADHD isn't something to fix. It's something to embrace. Instead of working against your brain, let's learn how to work with it. Now, you might kind of wonder why you're listening to me. So let's talk about that just for a minute. So, I'm not your therapist. I can't prescribe meds. That's not what I'm here. And that's not why you should listen to me. So, I've been a career coach for 20 years. And I have been the leader of organizations as large as 400 people for more than 20 years. But my relationship with people with ADHD goes back before that. So my first calling was to teach. And I have a degree in education. And when I got out of school, I ran youth and family services programs for the YMCA. Basically, if your children were K through 12 and they did something at the YMCA that didn't involve swimming or sports, I was in charge. So I met my first child with ADHD the first year I worked for the Y. And it was love at first sight. I just loved that child's brain. And I decided I wanted to learn everything I possibly could. And this was a long time ago, and there wasn't a lot out there, actually. And before I knew it, I was one of the top 3 experts in the state of Maryland on what do you do with your child after school and during the summers when they're not on the medication of choice at the time and they're really struggling to adjust to that. So for the rest of my years working with families and working with children, this was really my passion. And then I made this huge career shift and became part of the tech startup world where there are a lot of neurodivergent people and was an executive at a fintech startup. And once again, then hundreds of people working for me. And guess what? A whole lot of neurodivergence and a whole lot of ADHD. And it's just never stopped. So I've never said until recently, well, these are the people I work with. Y'all just kept finding me. But it's time to actually talk about that. And so I've been developing a program that supports people with ADHD on achieving their career goals. You got other people that help you from a therapy perspective, from a medication perspective. They're experts at that. They know what they're doing. Well, guess what I know? It's how to use your ADHD as an asset in your career, whether you're an executive or an entrepreneur. And that's why you're here today. Okay, let's dive in. So, we're not going to fix you. We're going to embrace your brain. Instead of working against it, we're going to learn how to work with it. So let's talk about these superpowers. You ready? Okay, the first ADHD superpower that we're going to learn how to harness is hyperfocus. So as a kid, that was probably used as a reason to punish you. Well, if he really wants to, he can focus. So why can't he focus when he doesn't want to? You heard that one before? So, strength, the ability to dive deeply into a task or idea. The challenge is it can lead to burnout or getting stuck on the wrong task. Our strategy is save your hyperfocus for high priority tasks and then use timers or reminders to break the trance. So we're going to save hyperfocus for high priority tasks. Then we're going to use timers or reminders to break your trance. Got it? Second superpower, creativity. So obviously, the strength, nonlinear thinking that leads to innovative solutions. Who doesn't want innovative solutions? The challenge is your ideas can feel scattered or hard to implement. The strategy, dedicate time specifically for brainstorming and idea generation and use the tools that work for your brain, which is not going to be the same tools everyone else in our ADHD club world here with me today. So it might be mind maps, it might be voice notes. It's going to be different for each of you, and that's okay. But definitely dedicate time for brainstorming and idea generation, and then use those mind maps or voice notes to organize your thoughts. Now, our third superpower is risk taking. The strength is the boldness to seize opportunities and act decisively. Decisiveness is huge in leadership, whether you're leading a team as an executive or whether you are leading the business that you founded, the business that is your entrepreneurial dream. The challenge with risk taking is risks can feel impulsive without balance. They can be impulsive without balance. So what's our strategy? Pair your risks with quick assessments. Not big, long, boring, bureaucratic. You're not going to want to do it. You're going to want to rebel against it. No, I said quick. And not a bad idea when people are counting on you, which all my executives, all my entrepreneurs, all my startup founders, you've got people counting on you. Not a bad idea to consult with a trusted advisor to validate decisions. Okay. Sometimes for some people, that trusted advisor is me. Okay, superpower 4, energy and drive. The strength is the ability to power through challenges and inspire others. The challenge is energy dips or misdirected effort. Our strategy, Align your high energy times with high impact tasks. Schedule downtime to recharge and avoid burnout. Now, I talk about this all the time when I'm doing job search coaching because job searches are really hard. And we talk a lot about, okay, how are you going to get the most important things done every day of your job search? What time of day you're going to do that? And guess what? It's not the same time of day for everyone. So we'll get clear on when are your high energy times and what are your high impact tasks you need to be doing during those times. And then our fifth superpower is emotional intelligence. That strength, that deep empathy and connection with others. Now, a challenge with this is over identifying with others' emotions. So, our strategy here is to use emotional insight to build relationships and lead authentically. And what does the world need so much these days but authentic? Yeah. And then set boundaries to protect your own energy. So that's our fifth superpower. So I'm going to keep it short. So here's what I want you to do. Identify one ADHD superpower that resonates with you the most. Commit to one strategy to amplify that superpower this week. And then let me know what happens. So that's your first action step. Second, if you're ready to unlock more of your ADHD strengths, you probably need my ADHD superpower blueprint. So drop me a superpower and I will get you the blueprint. And if you'd like support, then let's make this happen. Let's get on a call. Let's talk about what that would look like. Have an absolutely wonderful, wonderful rest of your day.